So as you guys can see, my stuff is out there, but one problem, my neighbor's working on his boat and he's playing music, which I love his music and I love my neighbor, but the only problem is copyright infringement, YouTube. And because of that, I'm gonna have to just do a voiceover from this point on because I don't want the copyright infringement from YouTube. But that's it, guys. Let's get into the video. What I like to do is hit it off with a little bit of air in the beginning, a nice clean down just before I start to hit it with water or anything else, just so I can get some loose dirt off of the truck. Next, I like to start off with just wiping down the shell. So here I'm just wiping it down, trying to get all that loose dirt off before I start to hit it with the Greenworks. That's what I like to do to spray them up. So I'm just wiping it down with a sponge, a little bit of abrasive on one side of the sponge just so it can scrub it up nicely. But I'm getting to those areas first before I start to spray it down and put my cleaner on it. So here I have my cleaner. This is the Greenworks that I just spoke about. You can get any household product. I know a lot of guys used to like to use Simply Green. For me, Greenworks works. It's something I have laying around the house, and I keep it in this little bottle that I got from Home Depot. It's a refill, so all I do is just pour the refills in it and spray it down and then scrub it down with the sponge. After that, what I like to do is just rinse it down, get all that soapy agent off of there, and just let it air dry. This can take, depending on where you're drying it, normally I keep this in my laundry room, so it could take a couple of hours for it to dry off, and then it's ready to go. This is a basher body, so I won't worry about polishing it up or trying to get the scuff on. So let's get this started, guys. So this is how I normally start off my cleanings. This is the Arrma Kraton 6S. I like to do these cleans before I start doing my repairs on my truck that I may want to address before putting this back on the chassis. And now let's get into the chassis. So this, I like to really thoroughly rinse it down. And as I said, normally I do this in my slop sink. I'll have that water running all over it, just kind of getting into it. And just before you guys do this, make sure that your RC is waterproof, water resistant. I don't submerge my RCs. I don't submerge them when I run them. I don't submerge them when I clean them, but I do clean them thoroughly. So now you see me, I'm washing it. It is up. It is on an angle, so the water is running off of it. I do rinse it down in all the areas so I can really get a good scrubbing in next, but I really do rinse it down so that, I'm getting all that loose dirt, all that loose grass, all that grime off of it, because I want this thing to be thoroughly clean when I put this thing away. So after I hit that with the water, I come back with the Greenworks. I spray it liberally everywhere it gets the Greenworks. I just want to make sure that it's in here and it's getting all the areas to clean down. Now what I will typically do too when I'm hitting the Greenworks, I'll let it soak for a couple of hours, but for this video I'm going to kind of move it along. But normally I'll let it soak for a couple of hours in all those areas and really let the Greenworks work in and start applying to those dirty areas on the truck. So after I spray it down with Greenworks, what I like to do is give it a good scrub with the brush. Try to just get it onto all those areas. I'm scrubbing the bottom of the chassis, I'm scrubbing the inside of the chassis. I'm getting everywhere I can get with the big brush first. And then what I'll do is after I hit it with the big brush, I'll follow up with a toothbrush. So in the toothbrush, I'm trying to hit all those small little areas that I couldn't hit with the big brush. And this is stuff that you can get around your house, guys. I mean, this is all cleaning stuff that you have around your house, or it can easily be purchased from Target, Walmart, wherever you go, and it's not expensive. I mean, but you'll notice that these little things will make your RC look good for a long time. And plus, during this time of cleaning, you also get to once over your vehicle and just see if there's any issues, any breaks, any bearings, anything that needs to be taken care of. There's a nice time to address it because you're going through the entire truck and cleaning it, and hopefully you're paying attention to everything that's being done and you're able to see if there are any other issues going on with your rigs. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna hit the tires, and I am a villain with my tires. I like to make sure they're nice and clean when I get these things going. I know some guys like to do the brush at the bottom of their bin. I like to really get in there and I like to scrub my tires. Plus, I do not like to apply any pressure to my tires when I scrub them. So what you'll see is I'm cupping my hand a little bit to kind of get the tire around, but I'm not applying any pressure. So I don't put any pressure on the tire, but I do scrub it with the brush, also without putting any pressure, but just enough to get the dirt and the grime off the tire. And I'm gonna show you 3 different sets of tires at the end of this. My clean tire, a brand new tire, which these are the LP backflips, and I'm gonna show you a dirty tire, which I did not clean at all, and you guys can see the difference between the 3 and get an idea of how I actually clean my tires and what they look like afterwards. One of the key things is you're gonna need, if you're going to attempt to clean your RC and clean it properly, you gotta have an air compressor. It doesn't need to be this big one that I have. It has to be some kind of air that is able to sweep through the RC and get all that loose dirt, and in this case, get that water off the RC. I like to make sure that the car is at an angle, it's tilted, somewhere that the water is running down one path. So I want the water to run down, I want it to run away from my electronics. I want to run, anywhere possible that it has a path to leave the vehicle. So lastly, what I'll do is I'll give it a good wipe down, just making sure that, I'm really have gotten all the wet areas on the truck removed. I'm just trying to get it prepped before I start to move over to the next step on here, which is just lubing the entire truck up. Now this next step with the deep creep, I like to do this normally indoors with a kind of like it having the truck suspended over a box or a plastic container, but for this one what I'll do is I'll spread some plastic bags on the ground and then just spray it up. With this part I like to keep it away from the electronics. I like to spray it up on the plastics, on the axles, the bottom of the chassis, and anywhere I think it's going to give it a little bit more durability and a little bit gloss on the shine too, because this thing works very well when it comes to just making the RC look brand new again.
Day 3.
So here we are, guys, the Arrma Kraton 6S all cleaned up. I think it looks amazing. As I said, this is after spraying it up with the deep creep, the Seafoam deep creep, and letting it sit for about 3 days. That's what I do. I usually am not pressed to run my trucks right after I clean them up, and this is kind of that same effect. So it's been cleaned up, it's been sitting with the deep creep on there. What I do is after I hit it with the deep creep, hit it with the air to kind of get those loose areas where the deep creep hasn't settled in on it, and then I take a rag, just a microfiber rag, and I wipe it down and just get all the residue of the deep creep that's sitting on there off. And then it looks like this, guys, and this is the kind of the vehicle that you get. I'll show you some overshots of what this looks like underneath, but it's super clean. And what else I wanted to show you guys too is the tires. So I got three sets of tires I want to show you, and you guys can get an idea as to what the tire came from, what it looks like when it's clean, and I'm going to also give you a used tire. And in the comments below, let me know which one you think, between the new tire and the tire cleaned up, which one you think looks better. So I want to show you, this is what the tire looks like fresh off of a bash. This came off of this truck. This is exact. I only cleaned up one of them so that you guys can see what it looks like from the initial to where it looks like now. But this is one of the dirty tires from this truck. And these are the LP backflips. You guys get a good idea. Hopefully that's coming up. Let me get it more into the light so you guys can really see it. But hopefully that's coming up good on the camera. You guys get an idea as to what it looks like. This is a tire that is cleaned up. This was the tire that I scrubbed on the video. The only thing that I do to the tire after it's all cleaned up is I do hit it with some Black Magic to give it that gloss. It's a normal tire agent that you would use on a one-to-one car for their tires, but I use that too. And if you don't have Black Magic, I think it's an outdated product because I've had that for quite some time. You can use Armor All too. That's another one that'll give you a nice little shine on the tires. And this is a brand new backflip, never ran, fresh out of the bag. And you guys tell me, how does the cleaned up tire compare to the brand new tire? Put it in the comments below. But for the most part, guys, this is all that I do to get my RC cleaned. Yes, it may be a little bit of work. I like my RCs looking really sharp when I have them sitting on the shelves, and you know, when it's ready to go out and bash. Plus, that lets me know too, once they're cleaned up, that I know that everything has been taken care of on the RC. You know, kind of when they're sitting there dirty and something breaks and you don't look it over before the next bash, it's not until you get back out on the field or back out there bashing it again do you notice that something's broken. So this is just another form of maintenance for me to know to go over my truck, go over my car, go over any one of my rigs, and just kind of that everything is going good the next time I take it out. But that's it, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest post to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.